Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. Today I'll be demonstrating how to create this 3-tier chocolate sphere cake. I'll be using an 8, a 6 and a 4-inch cake for this particular project. These are single cakes that have been cut in half and filled, and now I'm creating a final layer of frosting in turquoise over the crumb coat. Smooth it out till you're happy with the finish, drag that lip of frosting towards the middle, and then refrigerate for at least 20 minutes so the frosting can harden. Repeat the same steps again as mentioned for your 4-inch and also for your 8-inch base. Notice the shade of turquoise changes each time, so it's kind of like an ombre. I have my darkest on the bottom and then my lightest on the top. When you're ready to stack the cakes and your frosting has firmed up nicely, you can add bubble tea straws or dowels into your cakes. And I've just cut it flush with the very top of the frosting. Into the bottom tier, I'm adding 5 bubble tea straws, and basically they're just going to be there to support the weight of the top tiers. Take the thinnest spatula you have to help release your cake from that temporary cake board. I'm going to slide my spatula underneath and just kind of lift it up to make sure it's all been separated. And then I'm sticking them together with some buttercream. Underneath the cakes that are going on top, there's actually a cake board the same size as the cake. This is what these straws are going to be pushing up against. That way they don't gravity doesn't pull them down and the straws don't pierce through the cake. Basically, you just want to make sure that any top tiers have a cake board underneath. To hide the seam, you can take the same color buttercream as your tier and just fill in any pockets at the bottom. And you can use a scraper to scrape away the excess and to kind of push that buttercream into the crevices. Go over it a couple of times to remove any excess and to help make it look flush and seamless. Once you're happy with the finish, grab some edible gold leaf and press it up against the buttercream. When you do this, you just want to make sure that the buttercream has set really well, because you are going to be handling it. You're going to be kind of massaging the gold leaf onto your cake, and you don't want to mess up the frosting. If you need to pop your cake back into the fridge for 20 minutes, for example, just to let that firm up again, it would be a good idea. For the gold and the coloured spheres, we're actually going to be using styrofoam balls. These are just regular toothpicks. I'm pressing about halfway into the ball, and then we'll be dipping this into chocolate. I've used Nestle melted chocolate. I've poured in a good 2 tablespoons worth of vegetable oil, or any clear oil will do, like canola for example. Mix that through and then add in your gel food colour. If you don't want to use the oil, you can use powdered food colour instead, or an oil-based food colour. These two will not react with the chocolate, and your chocolate will stay nice and smooth. Dip your styrofoam ball into the chocolate, make sure it's completely covered, and then tap your hand to kind of remove any excess chocolate. I coloured it darker again, and then continue to dip more styrofoam balls. Rotate your ball as you tap, and that way you get rid of that little pimple of chocolate. And it creates a nice smooth texture all around. This was a light pink colour that I've used, an electric pink, and then I added in yellow to create a bit of an orange colour here as well. And these are reserved for the gold dust later. Whatever gold dust color, whatever luster dust color that you're going to be using, try to match the color in the chocolate as well. That way it's a bit more seamless when you brush it on. These should only really take 15 or so minutes to set. If you want to speed up the process, so you can dry them off in the fridge. Here we have Champagne Gold by Cake Decorating Australia. And I'm using a large blush brush to dust it all over the surface. Repeat with all of the other orangey looking ones. And then work with your flowers. I've got some pink roses here. I've cut off the stem, leaving about 1.5 centimeters, and I'm poking a toothpick through that section. Now that all of our decorations have been assembled, take your cake and gently press in the balls. If you can handle them with the scissors at the stick, even better, so you don't smudge anything like I did later on down the track. Very, very handy to have pliers or a scissors to help guide them in. And you just basically do whatever you think looks good. It's very forgiving. If you need to take it out and replace it with something else, you totally can. I ended up rearranging it a few times actually. I started with the biggest at the top, and then I only added 2 or 3 large ones on the side. You don't have to press them all the way into the cake either. As you can see here with the last 3, they are pretty high up on the cake. I totally forgot the roses, so I took out the larger balls and I replaced them with 3 roses. And you can use them to hide where you can see the stick as well, like I did here at the back. Just placed a ball there to hide the seams. And that's it. That is how you create a really shabby chic style cake with chocolate spheres, gold leaf, and some roses. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you give it a go, I would love it to see your creation. Hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so I can check it out. Feel free to subscribe for more cake decorating tutorials, and we'll catch you again in the next one.